Hey, what's up? This is Ross, and today I'm doing my kind of third part of my, I guess I'm calling it my Doctor Who journal now, and I'm kind of on my second serial of the second season now. On William Hartnell of the second season. And, well, I can honestly say that it's looking like the show is having a bit of budget constraints on the second season because, well, it just... And I don't mean to upset any of the Doctor Who fans out there and stuff like that, but there's sometimes when a show just kind of looks like it's done cheaper. Okay, and this is kind of like the season that I'm starting to think they had a lot of budget constraints because the show looks... Oh, how can I put it? Hokier. And I don't mean to upset any of the Doctor Who fans out there. I know that you've stuck with it for 50 years. Some of you have stuck with it for 50 years. Some of you have just now started watching the new series and stuff like that. It's a great show. It's a damn good show. And I'm actually starting to get pretty addicted to it. Even though these serials are rather long. Well, the first serial in the second season, pretty much consisted of, well, they get out of the TARDIS, okay, and basically they're back on Earth. Alright, they're back on Earth, okay, but they got a bit of a problem. They're now basically shrunk to the size of basically no more than the equivalent of basically something smaller than a small spider. So they got real big problems. So everything is kind of like oversized for them and stuff. So they have to figure out how the heck to get themselves back inside the TARDIS so they can go ahead and complete the process of being upgraded to this actual size of human beings, because it didn't happen when they got down there. Okay, so what happens is that they go through this long quest of basically going through this series of this serial of just being little people, little small, like I said, the size of a small spider. And what this does is it makes it a little interesting. Now, why I said the show kind of seems a little cheap to me is that the props don't look as real. They kind of don't look as realistic, but then again, this was 1964, and I guess I'll give it that it was 1964, but, okay, so they go to this planet, to our planet, okay, and, on Earth, and then, something is happening where they're building some kind of new insecticide, and it's killing everything around them. But it's not really killing it. It makes humans sick, but it doesn't, it kills off insects and stuff like that. So they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on there. And they're trying to figure out why things are happening and stuff like that. So we have that serial, and that serial's done. Now we have another serial that is basically about... They land on this planet, and the planet is basically ruled by insects. And And Doctor Who and the gang have to figure out how to be able to help these bee-like people that look like bees fight a war, some kind of intergalactic war or something. And they are fighting against the central brain that is basically a hive mind to these giant sort of ants that are kind of walking around, that are at war with these bees. And that's really all I can really describe it as. And this is the one where I really say that it looks like they didn't have much of a budget. Because in the background, you can see that the parts where the set came together and stuff like that, and the ants, you could obviously tell that they're just, you could see the strings and stuff, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't really, that one to me was like the most poorly put together one, and it just seemed like they really didn't have much of a budget on that one. Now they're stretching these out to make these serials, and it's a monumental feat for a show that doesn't have much of a budget. And it shows. Like I said, you could see the seams that put the set together, and you can see some of the things on strings and stuff, and some of the set is too enclosed, and you could tell that it's been painted over and stuff, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't look very realistic. But then again, it's 1964, and I guess I don't have much of a complaint there because of the fact that that's such an early time, And to me, that was like the mid-season finale of this long. I got about 3 more serials to go in this dang season. It's a long season, a lot longer than the first one. Alright, so that's what this pretty much consists of, like I said in the last ones. The original Doctor Who's started out more or less as serials. And that's basically how they started out. Not like the ones today were basically, if they wanted to put one together, like 2 together, they'd have basically a 2-parter, and then they'd have what's called a cliffhanger, and then they bring out the next episode, okay? That's what they do today. Back then, in the television era back then, they had serials that basically were the same as in old-time movies where you go to the theater, you pay for a ticket, and basically you get that pays for about 10 different serials, like say the early Superman in the 1940s, where you pay for a ticket and you got to see all the Supermans that came out in the theater. That's what I mean that Doctor Who is, where that's how it started out. That is the birth of Doctor Who. It started out as basically serials. Now, when does this quit? I don't know. I don't know when it quits. I know that in Tom Baker, when you get to Tom Baker, it's basically like 1 part 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically these last quite a while, these serials. So they last quite a while, all right? And, and that's only when I'm going to be able to consider myself an actual real fan of Doctor Who, is when I get to John Pertwee and Tom Baker, because they are kind of like the ones that classic Doctor Who are kind of like, they're the ones that are pictured with classic Doctor Who, as John Pertwee and Tom Baker. So when I get to them, then I can actually call myself an actual fan of Doctor Who, and now can kind of start talking about stuff with actual fans of Doctor Who about what's going on and stuff like that. Right now, I'm still kind of in my infancy, so I'm still got a long ways to go. And So the next review I'll make is going to be at the end of the season 2. And that's it. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas. I'm not going to be doing a video because I'll be busy. But I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. Hope you have a good one with your families and all that. And I'll see you later in my next video. Thank you.